Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Dialogue Box, where we dissent creatively. In today's episode, we meet with Rabbi Lee Weissman, a prominent Jewish interfaith activist based in California. Rabbi Lee Weissman has been an educator for past 25 years, teaching teens and adults about the Jewish faith. For the last 10 years, he has been actively building bridges between the Jewish and Muslim communities in the United States. His Twitter timeline is full of quotations from the Muslim saints and scholars. Lee did his PhD in South Asian Studies from Tamil Nadu, the southern state of India. And during his stay in Tamil Nadu, he would visit the neighboring state, Kerala. Lee encourages positive relationship between the Muslims and Jewish community and try to find similarities between these two great monotheistic faiths. So let's hear it from Lee Weissman about his love for Islamic spirituality and his activism for building peace and tolerance among communities. Welcome, Rabbi Lee Weissman. Today we would like to discuss about spiritual and the historical relationship between two great, wonderful faiths in the world, that is Judaism and Islam. Of course, we know the three great Abrahamic faiths in the world: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. These have a lot of commonalities in terms of history and creed as well. For example, in the Holy Quran, we find Prophet Moses as the most mentioned prophet with so much repeated historic instances. We find in the life of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he had very close interaction with the Jewish community at Medina. In fact, on the day of his death, he had pledged his armor with a Jewish neighbor. So we find that there is an organic relationship between these two great faiths in the world.
I'll begin by saying that I know that you're from Kerala. And actually, part of my interest in this really was spurred by my trip to Kerala many years ago. I used to spend some time in the Jewish community in Cochin, and I was there for a Jewish holiday. And I was sitting in the home of the Koder Halegua family, which is really the last big family of Jews that lived in Cochin. And as I was sitting there on our holiday, sweets were coming to the door. And people who were bringing the sweets were Christians, Hindus, Muslims. And it was the first time that I had really seen the possibility of communities living together, not only in peace and tolerance, certainly we have that in the United States, but in appreciation. There was something, it was not just, hey, I know it's your holiday. It was more like, you know what, we're celebrating with you. You're part of our community, and this was something that people did for each other, and I was so impressed with it. And at the same time, I remember going to the market in Mattancherry, and I went to buy something, and the Muslim owner of the market said, "You don't want that." I guess I have, in the course of my life, and certainly have created situations in my life of very meaningful engagement between Muslims and Jews. We have a lot to talk about. As you said, we have, of course, a lot of religious stories in common to talk about. We have a lot of religious concepts in common to talk about. Probably most importantly, we have moral and ethical concepts that we share, and that I believe that the world needs to hear. And the less divided we are, the more that we can present those things to the world in a believable way. And honestly, when Jews and Muslims are fighting with each other, when we have our turf wars and really needless hostility over those, it delegitimizes our ability to communicate with the world ethically, because the world looks at us and says, "What do you people have to say? I mean, look how you deal with each other. Given how you deal with each other, what do you have to say?" So I really believe that we have a lot to say to each other, that can be meaningful, and that we can both be changed positively in that interaction.